Hey folks, my mouth is really dry apparently. It has been incredibly hot in LA for the last week or so, and no amount of water is going to moisturize my innards. They are dry. I am a husk of a human being. I wanted to talk as it's been 2 months since my last video. No wonder that my mom has been asking when my next video was going to be. I didn't realize it had been 2 months, but here we are. So I want to take this channel in a new direction. Mostly, I need to actually upload videos, but in general, I want to move away from. There was sort of this urge I was having because I was keeping up too much with social media that I wanted to talk more about current events and things like that. I think I'm going to move away from that. I've sort of come to this conclusion that I don't really enjoy Reddit. I don't enjoy Twitter. Recently, I was noticing my Google feed on Android. When you swipe once to the, I guess you would be swiping to the right, but you're going to the left of your scene on the Android app. It takes you to this Google News thing that uses an algorithm to show you things you'd be interested in. And apparently, Google thinks I just want to be miserable because everything it shows me is I keep telling it I don't like this, I don't care about that, don't care about this. And it's like, well, if you don't care about these local politics that are sort of sad, how about this genocide happening and so and so? And I'm like, well, no, I can't really do anything about that. I try my best, but I'm not going to be traveling cross country or I guess cross oceans, what have you. And Google says, well, if that's not enough for you, how about just understanding that there's just nothing you can do about these Chinese companies using, CFCs that are destroying the ozone because it's cheaper and they just don't care. Like, I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that these people can, basically destroy everything around me and I have no say in the matter. And it just keeps doing that. I keep telling it I don't care, and I keep telling it I don't care about these news websites. And even with video games, it'll be like, that video game you liked a few days ago? And I'm like, yeah, I remember that game. And it's like, it's garbage. Here's 10 reasons why it's garbage. I'm like, I don't need the buzzkill. I just want to like it. I just want to enjoy this game. I want to enjoy my life. And it's like the internet just doesn't want to. You go on Twitter. I've tried to curate it to have friendly people showing pictures and that sort of thing. It's just like every day you open it up and it's, how can I ruin your day today? Have you been enjoying yourself? Have you had reduced anxiety? Reduce depression? Let's fix that. The algorithm has been listening and it understands that you think you don't want to be sad. You think you don't want to be anxious. That you think you don't want to be nauseous. But we here at the Twitters and the Reddit, we know what's good for you. And the thing is, I should have known this. I should have known that social media just wasn't for me because I've already left Facebook. I have an account there because if I delete it, I'll immediately get blasted by 1,000 relatives, but I just don't want to see it. The thing about Facebook, if I can go on my 31-year-old old man rant, the thing about Facebook that drives me nuts is that when you're on somewhere like Twitter or Reddit or Instagram or although I actually do kind of like Instagram, but maybe that one will die for me soon. Anyways, the thing about all of these other services is that they're not built around the idea of connecting your family. And the thing about Facebook is that that's its whole deal, connecting you with your friends and family. And the thing is that you have friends and family that are best experienced in small bursts. They're best experienced at potlucks or during the holidays. Just all these moments that are sort of encapsulated in this notion of civility and keeping your mind on just family, right? Facebook, for whatever reason, is where people go to express, generally speaking, disappointing viewpoints. Occasionally vile commentary. Anything with a minion on it, you can guarantee, is depressing. And it's all the more depressing when you look at this absolutely vile or stupid comment and you raise your eyes and realize it's a relative. Some people recognize that in this situation, there is nothing to gain from fighting with them, because unlike your coworkers who you could just go get a new job, unlike some rando on the street who's shouting at you, you could just walk away from them. You can't walk away from family. I mean, you technically could, but it would be difficult. And I have relatives that understand this. When I was in Washington, I had a lovely discussion with my uncle where it was basically like, it's for me with family, I just kind of want to love them and to have this good connection and to understand that at the end of the day, we're all people and we're all trying our best and that sort of thing. But Facebook, man, just makes it desperately impossible, because you find out when people give off this stream of consciousness, everybody has bumps. Everybody has these areas of them that are perhaps less than they wish they were, and definitely less than other people around them wish they were. I'm no different. I'm sure there's many flaws within me that would disgust other people. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure they're there. I'm not naive to that. And in past generations, before things like Facebook came about, you just didn't know. You didn't know. You didn't know that Tom. Now, what's a better name? Because my uncle's name is Thomas, and I adore him. Raymond. I don't think there's a Raymond in my family. Raymond. I apologize to all the Raymonds out there. I hear everybody loves them. But oh man, what was even going on? But basically, you see this, you have this person who hates immigrants, or they can't stand the notion that there are other languages in the world and that they might actually have to learn something after high school. And they just go on these rants about it and how awful it is, and how these people, if they don't like it, they should leave, and if you're unwilling to learn something new, you should get out, and blah blah blah. And it's all this stuff that's completely ignorant of the realities of the world and how difficult things are and how few options most people really have. And you see those things and you think, I wish they didn't say that. I wish that I could look at this person and still love them as much as I did yesterday, and that I could still respect them as much as I did yesterday. And I kept having those moments, and I found myself muting more and more people on Facebook, and I realized when the only person you can see basically is like your wife, and you already live with her, why not just not use it? Like, if it's not making me happy and it's not increasing any sort of value in my life, why use it? If there's any fun family information, like a holiday that happened, vacation photos, things like that, people will get in contact with you. I don't know if you remember the internet before Facebook, but people will send you emails or letters, postcards. It's really easy. I mean, it's kind of like the news. I don't follow the news anymore. And you might think that I have no idea what's going on, but here's the thing. Everyone around you is obsessing about the news, and it is destroying them. I watch people at my own job who are they've been perpetually having a meltdown for the last 2 years. And I respect why they're having a meltdown, because I find almost everything that comes up incredibly depressing. But the thing is, I don't need to look. Everyone around me is more than happy to be another link in the game of telephone that is information spreading. And I just kind of listen, and if they want to chat about it, I'll chat with them, sort of agnostic to whether or not what they've heard actually happened, because you generally can have conversations about these sort of things without actually knowing. Because if your intent is not to get the pitchfork out and go stab somebody, then it actually doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You're just sort of discussing philosophy with one another. And I realize philosophy is something I love. It's something I enjoy doing. So if somebody wants to talk about some event, hypothetical or otherwise, I'm perfectly happy to chat with them. I don't need to know that CFCs are being used again because it's cheaper for Chinese companies, and that they just don't care. That destroying the ozone doesn't really matter if you can get a few bucks at the end of the day. And I know this now. Does it help me in any way? does anything about my life change other than the fact that I'm a little less happy than before I knew it? Nah. That's the thing. I want to be the happy guy. I would like to be able to present you with fun things, fun stories. Because I believe even in some sad stories, there can be fun little bits of information that you can glean from it. Fun little tidbits that you may not have seen otherwise. And I have these desires to sort of change this channel into being more of a storytelling channel where I talk about events both that have happened and haven't. I don't think any of them are going to be political. You could argue anything is political if you want it to be, but I mean, quite literally, they won't be allegories for anything that's going on right now. And that's so I don't like following the news. I don't like following Facebook. Clearly, I don't like writing scripts, which is definitely helping me right now. God, current me is always so upset with past me and his lack of planning. But, this YouTube will accept the uploads, so this is going, It's been 2 months, gotta put something up here. For no particular reason other than it makes me happy to see it tick up like 1 or 2 views. Hi, Mom! And, yeah, it's good. And, so yeah, no Facebook. I'm basically done with Twitter. Twitter's been strange recently, so when I'm really bored at work, I do kind of like to glance at Twitter so I can see artists' drawings. My favorite artists in the world are ones that speak a language that I don't know. Because I see all their art, and even if in the thing it's like down with Cambodia or something, I don't know. I don't know. I just see this pretty drawing. I'm like, oh yay, I like that. It's one of the nice things about not being bilingual, is I mean I guess I know a little Korean, but not enough to where I would know that they're saying awful things. I would know if they're saying hello and thank you, which good things to know. The more languages you know, hello and thank you, and the better your life will be, I think, because that's. Really, those and maybe I'm sorry or excuse me, or you'll get you far. Reddit, same reason I don't like following the news. Although I have curated my own Reddit account, which is things like wholesome memes, rare puppers, hamsters, I think it is, just like cute hamsters. One for superb owls. And it's great. I when I open that, where it's just filtered and it's just nothing but cute animals and people being nice to one another, that's great. I need more of that on the internet. I need a social media service where that's literally all it is people like, hey, feel better about yourself today. Because every army has enough soldiers, right? Think of the most obscure thing to be upset about. Thousands of people are already ranting about it daily on Twitter. It's got a hashtag of some kind. They don't need me. I'm a drop in the bucket. There's nothing I can do. I hear their concerns and absolutely nothing changes. The people who make decisions don't know who I am. If I at them, they don't see it. And if I try to chat with folks who are mad about something and I say one more wrong word like that, where I try to say wrong, get skewered. And it just gets out from under you. That's the thing, is you could be chatting in some sort of movement that actually is kind of positive, and a few crazy people join in, and then everyone's retweeting the crazy people, which is something I do actually want to talk about sometime, which again comes back to philosophy. It's just the idea of why do the right thing. Obviously for me it's because it makes me feel good, but why do the right thing? Every service that exists will give you more rewards if you are a total dirtbag. All of them. Even when people try to act like they're being altruistic, and it's like, oh, let's take down these bad people because they don't like who we are. And what do? You retweet them, so they go from 100 followers or whatever to just tens of thousands, because other people who happen to dislike you for some arbitrary dumb reason, they see that and they're retweeting it because they agree with this person, and then now you've taken somebody who was a nobody and given them a huge stage. Where was the incentive for them to be good? You might think, we'll be able to harass them until they get off this service, and it's like, the odds are good if they're infuriating you that attention is what they wanted in the first place. That rise out of you is what they wanted in the first place. So really all it is just you giving somebody the currency they want. It's like throwing $100 bills at somebody and saying, stop doing that, and then being surprised that they don't stop. That's the truncated version of that video once it comes around. Is if people are really trying to make the world better, the way they act in social media and the way social media acts in general, oh man, it confounds me. It confounds and depresses me. Yeah. So yeah, just to close this out, because I don't know how long this has gotten, and thankfully I am actually recording. I wouldn't have been the first time, but I would like to talk about philosophy, about games. I've got unboxing videos, 2 of them that I need to finish editing. One is terrible, but the other one I did giggle a little bit about a few of the jokes. We'll see whether or not they hit with other people. And I'm just going to leave it to other people. I don't think there's anything to gain in life by staring at 24-hour news, which literally the internet has become, because apparently it's all negative. Google has been given 3 solid months of me trying to tell it what I care about and what I don't care about, and it still thinks every single day that, matter of fact, I'm curious, I'm going to check. Let's see if I can get a page of, oh, that's my cat. That's good, but that's not on the thing. So you can give it a flicker. Somebody resigned from sports. Okay, I don't care about sports, although I do respect what it does for people. Terrible Supreme Court news. That's par for the course. Looking back on the worst expansion in Hearthstone, although it does say worst in quotations, so maybe that's actually an optimistic look. Snopes about the president. George W. Bush, apparently, even though I've told it I don't care. I'm sure in private he's a nice fellow, but I don't care about him. And tropical storm is going to destroy a bunch of stuff. That's great. Not really. Well, that's positive. Pokemon Go made $1.8 billion. Congratulations for them. And I'm sorry, this is probably terrible, but I'm just trying to make a point. Yelling, what about the children? And you notice right now I'm telling you these things, and I'm doing exactly what I just said, where it's, what's the point of even trying? If you can actually, if these had been nice things, then I wouldn't be telling you. Oh, hey, LeBron's joining the Lakers. I know what the Lakers are, and I know who LeBron is, and I'm told he's a very sweet man. I'd be fine with meeting him, have a cup of tea, be cool. So that's positive. And that's the end, because the last thing is actually arguably interesting. Raynor and Asmodan gameplay update. So this is more positive than the last couple times I checked. And that's the thing, you know, I'd find myself checking all the time and kind of hoping for good news, something interesting, because initially when I first started using it, it actually would tell me something interesting and be like, oh, hey, did you know there's a sale on that game you like? And I'm like, oh, I like saving money and playing games. Yeah. So that's my thing. I thank you for watching the rant if you did. If you didn't, well, I hope your life's still going well, even if you're not hearing this. I hope you have friends that you enjoy being around. I hope you enjoy waking up in the morning. And I hope, if that's not the case, that you can perhaps look over what you're doing in your life and see if there's something you could change, be it not following Twitter or finding a counselor or perhaps medication, just finding that missing stone to the arc of your life, you know, that keystone. Just plopping that bad boy back in there, or girl, or them, they, whatever. Plopping that stone back in there, and just being able to wake up and smile. I hope if that's not already your life, I hope it comes to pass. And I would have been smiling more myself in this video if I just wasn't so gosh darn tired. So I'm gonna, and for no reason from this video, but I'm gonna go get some rest after I upload this, and I hope you do too when the time comes.